What's going on, y'all? Machiavelli Mills TV, y'all. Welcome back. I've been gone for some days, but let's talk about it, man. We just finished I just finished watching the Canelo Alvarez versus Jermell Charlo fight in Saul. Canelo Alvarez wins by unanimous decision, right? It was a blowout. It was. What went wrong for Jermell Charlo? At times, y'all, I wish Jermell had the activity of an Errol Spence Jr. Jermell does not, like, Errol throws 1,000 punches in a fight. Jermell was gun shy tonight, and a lot of times he can seem gun shy. I've seen him take his foot off the gas, especially I remember in their first fight against Brian Castano, right? He would have Castano hurt and then take his foot off the gas, and I would see Errol Spence in the crowd like, yo, go out them, get on him, right? And so when I watched this fight tonight, the times he looked best was when he started throwing combinations. When he was throwing punches and combinations, he was kind of mixing it up and leaving Canelo guessing to where he could land shots at the end of the combinations. Now, those shots were not hurting Canelo, but at the same time, it's doing enough for him to score, right? Other than that, when he wasn't throwing the combinations, he was majority of the fight, he was busy pot shotting, throwing one punch at a time, pot shotting, sometimes winging shots, etc. But that's not how you're going to beat Canelo Alvarez. One, because, listen, man, you got to hurt this dude to really get the judges to really be on your side, right? Canelo is he's a fan favorite. He's a favorite of the judges as well, right? He won this fight clear as day, unanimous. Like, he won this fight fair and square. But what I'm saying is, you gotta what's the problem is you gotta make the judges feel like, hey, I'm doing some great stuff in this ring. Pot shotting not gonna get it. I said to myself, I didn't say it on camera, going into the match, I felt like Jermell was giving Canelo a little bit too much respect, right? And some people be like, oh, I hear boxing fans, well, you better be respectful to such and such because they'll make it bad for you. Dog, it's a fucking fight. They're not going in there to pussyfoot around anyway. The punch is still going to hurt the same, okay? And Canelo wanted to look good and look dominant after the last two fights that he had where he didn't look as dominant. He looked a little rusty. He didn't look as polished as he normally does. So he was coming out to make a statement, especially against a guy who was 2 weight classes smaller than him anyway. So my thing is, listen, I felt like it was a bad sign how much respect he was giving because Jermell not really respectful normally to opponents. And people can say, well, he didn't fight a guy the caliber of Canelo Alvarez. I guarantee you if he fights Terrence Crawford, as we saw him do, he called Terrence Crawford out at the end of the fight, it's not going to be respect. Because one, Terrence ain't going to respect him, and Jermell ain't going to be respectful. Jermell going to say, fuck it. So you got to have that same type of mindset. I feel like Jermell needs the disrespectful mindset for him to go out and go for the gusto. Okay? Several times throughout this fight, Derrick James telling him, go after him, go after him. Stop letting him be first. You be first. And Jermell never did it. Too respectful in the ring to where Canelo was putting his hands down. I say, yo, he's dropping his fucking hand like he don't feel like Jermell can hurt him, and he's not worried about him throwing flurries. Okay? One thing but a lot of things went well for Canelo, but he had the more effective jab tonight. He was using that jab and utilizing it better than Jermell, and that was everybody's key for Jermell. Move around the ring, movement, and to utilize the jab. He was trying, but Canelo was landing it at a better rate, a better clip. Canelo did great body work on him. Green generalship. Now, some people got mad at me for me criticizing Jaron Boots Ennis when he fought Karen, whatever, it wasn't Karen, whatever how you pronounce the name, right? Not his last fight, the fight before that. And I said he had problems cutting off the ring. I'm watching Canelo in the ring, cutting off Jermell's movement. Jermell trying to go where he cutting off the ring, cutting him off in order to land his shots. When Jermell was on the ropes, that's when the most powerful shots landed in. And Canelo wasn't throwing a whole bunch of no combinations. He throwing one single shot, but they're thudding shots, right? Sneaking them in. He hurt Jermell in that 7th round. Hit him with a temple shot. I think it was the right temple. Was it left temple? Right temple. Landed it right here. Jermell felt that shot. His knees buckled. And he decided to take a knee, make a business decision, because you know what's coming after that. He wanted to save himself, took the knee, but I felt like that didn't help the cause either. Now, he came out trying to throw some punches in the next round, But I felt like his mentality had to be different. He was trying to sneak in an uppercut, but it wasn't landing. And he was trying to sneak it in to hurt Canelo. It just wasn't getting off. Canelo showed great ring generalship. And what I noticed is that I think Jermell was hoping that Canelo, I'm going to say Carmelo, Canelo would get tired at the end of the fight. And because he's been gassing in fights previous fights. He did in this fight, and he didn't because some might feel like, oh, this is the best shape he's in. He's back to his old self. But Jermell wasn't affected by Jermell's power. Like, he wasn't. And I told my homie before this, because he like, wait, should I bet? My heart was with Jermell, but I felt like I don't think Jermell can hurt him. Now, going up in weight, you can say, well, some guys can be more powerful when they move up in weight. My thing is that I didn't know. I really didn't know if he's going to be more powerful, and I didn't know if he would have the same speed at a higher weight class, and he seemed to not have that same speed that he has in lower weight classes. But honestly, y'all, I've seen Jermell in fights get a little fatigued himself at times, and where he's not throwing a whole bunch of punches because he's gassed out. But I've seen him also take his foot off the gas at times, maybe because he's just so winded. But yeah, I'm like, yeah, going up in weight, now you got to be in tip-top shape. And he said he came in at weight in like 172 this morning before the fight. And I'm like, yeah, you might have done better being lighter, but I feel like it was going to be the same result. Canelo had no respect for Jermell's power. Jermell was too respectful in certain exchanges at times. And yeah, when you down, like that 12th round, he was not even trying to go for the gusto. He was just trying to get up out of there. And to me, it seemed like Jermell was satisfied with the moral victory. He was. Matter of fact, listen to the post-fight interview. The in-ring post-fight interview. He like, yeah, I made it through this fight. I'm daring to be great. I moved up 2 weight classes. He knocked all those other guys out. He ain't knocked me out. And I never thought I would see Jermell satisfied with a moral victory. Like, he just didn't want to get knocked out. Because previously, in the build-up, he's saying he's not there just to survive. Right? That was the narrative he was running with, right? And then he's talking like he was there to survive. And I feel like if you thinking like that, I don't like that mindset. Because that seemed like you just wanted to go in here, get the bag, and get up out of there. Do I think Jermell wanted the bag? Hell yeah. Everybody wanted the bag. But I really think he thought he could win this fight. But I feel like he knew he bit off a little bit more than he could chew when he was hitting it, when those punches was hitting his body. Now, he took them well. Took them well more, took him better than Caleb Plant and other guys before. But I felt like he didn't engage as much as he should have if he wanted a victory. Okay? Don't be he got hurt, and I feel like he got even more gunshot, but he wasn't throwing combinations. And I feel like the key to be effective against Canelo is to throw these combinations, throw them off, and then you land some shit at the end. And he hit he landed some nice shots throughout the fight, but he couldn't put it together consistently. And to be fair, Canelo is not letting him do that. Walking him down, hitting him with power shots, that's making Jermell second guess himself. Making him not want to go in and exchange at times. My sister, I watched it with my sister. Jermell land a shot, dipping his head. Of course, use his defense, but he's really, really going low clinching because he doesn't want to he's trying to offset him. But Canelo confidence was at an all-time high. You could see the swagger and how he walked, how he was carrying himself. Sometimes he wasn't even trying to hurt Jermell at certain times. He was just super confident. Supreme confidence was oozing out of his body. Look at the post-fight interview. He like, man, nobody could beat this Canelo. Nobody can beat this Canelo. And I'm looking like, I don't know, dog. Bivol got some smoke for you going back up to up to 175. You go back up and wait. Bivol got some smoke for you. And then they mentioned what's my man's name? What is his name, man? They do the interviews after the fight. Jim Gray. Jim Gray asked about the Mexican monster, David Benavidez. And Canelo cusses again. I don't fucking care. I think he is getting insulted by people thinking he's afraid of the Mexican monster, David Benavidez. But his confidence is high. So he say Cinco de Mayo time. Why wouldn't you want to do it Mexican versus Mexican? Everybody gonna watch the fight and eat it up. So yeah, we'll see. We'll see what he does against a guy like David Benavidez, whose confidence is also high, who's known to hurt people, who's a really great fighter and a guy that has great punching power. And a taller guy, a bigger guy than Canelo. That would be interesting to watch. But Jermell, man, he calls out Terence Crawford at the end of the fight. Would I want to see that fight? Hell yeah. But he got to fight different. He got about a different mindset, different type of tenacity, because Terence Crawford is coming for blood. He's going to want to hurt Jermell way worse than he ever hurt Errol Spence, because he does not like Jermell. He got respect for Errol. He like Errol enough. He don't got no ill will with Errol. He has a lot of bad blood with Jermell, and he's going to want to hurt Jermell. But I do like Jermell calling him out. Like, fuck it. Let's get it. I go back down to 154. He said, well, are you going to fight, what's the guy name? Tim Tszyu. He said, yeah, whoever wins between that fight, or I'll fight Terence. I want to fight Terence Crawford. Where he at? I know he's somewhere up in here. Let's get it on. Let's get it cracking. We can do that. I'll fight whoever. And I like that mindset. And he's going to need that mindset going into a fight with Terence Crawford. Terence Crawford is an animal, and he is riding high off that win. Terence feel like nobody in the world can beat him. Terence feel like he can beat Canelo. I'm wondering, is it going to be a Terence Crawford-Canelo fight? Is Terence Crawford going to vie for that fight? He probably will. It's a big... Listen, man. Or you're going to fight Jermell, try to get all the belts at 54, and then end it all with Canelo Alvarez. Or what you going to do? Or go straight to Canelo? I'm interested to see. But, yeah, man, I think this is a great performance from Canelo Alvarez. Look dominant. And some people going to not. They're going to look at it and say, and as they should, because people criticize Errol Spence for, hey, you fought a smaller guy, a guy that moved up two weight classes, and you couldn't stop him. It's going to be critics to say you couldn't stop Jermell. You couldn't hurt him in a dominant... Well, he hurt him. He did. But you didn't. You couldn't hurt him, and you couldn't get him out of there like you got other guys up out of there. But it was a great showing. It was. He looked great. He was strong. His punch resistance is still the same. Guy still got the best chin in boxing. And, I mean, he was sharp. Sharp for real. Countering well. Jab looked phenomenal, effective. Body punches landing. He looked crisp. And going forward, I'm ready to see who he gonna fight next. Jermell, I think he got to come back with a different mindset. Can't be there just to survive against Terence Crawford. You got to go for blood, especially a dude coming up in weight. Cause Terence is gonna try to like really disrespect Jermell. He's gonna try to pull Jermell's card in front of the world. And at that point, balls to the wall. Let's get it. Fuck it. And I want him to say fuck it against Canelo tonight. Don't be when you a fighter. Sometimes a fighter of Jermell caliber, a dude of his ilk. Some men are naturally just respectful. Some fighters are respectful naturally, right? And they still gonna fight like warriors. Jermell ain't gonna fight. I don't think he fights well when he's so super respectful. He fight his best when it's animosity, it's bad blood. He's seeking not vengeance, but he's seeking to dominate an opponent. He's looking to hurt somebody. And he didn't seem like he was looking to hurt Canelo, man, golly. He didn't seem like he was looking to hurt Canelo like that. And the punches he threw, he did. And when he threw the punches, he didn't go back to it because I feel like he was afraid of getting caught. And yeah, man, to beat dude, Canelo Alvarez, Saul, you got to go for the gusto. You can't be out there playing around. No, fuck that. Let's get it cracking. But great win for Canelo Alvarez. He defends his title. What is his third time defending all four of them belts? Doing his thing. Jermell, take a loss. He said he's going to go back down to 54. Let's see what happens next, y'all. Machiavelli Mills TV. I'm out. Peace.